Welcome to English Listening with Mai. This is a space to improve your English through calm stories and everyday conversations. Today's story is about opportunity. Sometimes, one conversation can change the direction of a life. And often, the thing we are most nervous about is the very thing that leads to our biggest growth. Let's begin. The waiting room. The waiting room was quiet. Soft music played from the corner, and a large window overlooked the busy city below. People hurried along the sidewalk. Cars moved slowly through traffic. But inside the office, everything felt calm. Too calm. At least, that was how it felt to Carlos Rivera. He sat in a chair, holding a folder tightly. Inside were copies of his resume, certificates from training, and notes he had written the night before. He checked his phone. 10:12 a.m. His interview was at 10:15. Carlos took a deep breath. Interviews always made him nervous, especially this one, because this wasn't just a job. It represented a new future. The backstory. 2 years ago, Carlos worked in a warehouse, lifting heavy boxes, long hours, low pay. But in the evenings, he started studying something new, computer programming. At first, it was just curiosity, but slowly it became a fascination. To Carlos, programming felt like solving puzzles. He studied every free hour he had. He took night courses, and finally, after 2 years of practice, he began applying for jobs. Most companies never responded. A few sent rejection emails. But then, Next Step Software replied. The meeting. Carlos Rivera? A woman stood in the doorway. She smiled warmly. Hi, I'm Julia Bennett, one of the hiring managers. Please, come with me. Carlos followed her. The office was bright and modern. Screens displayed complex code and project diagrams. He felt excited and a little intimidated. They sat in a small meeting room. Julia leaned forward. So, Carlos, tell me a little about yourself. Carlos felt his heart beating faster. Well, he began, I didn't start in technology. I worked in a warehouse, but I started learning on my own because I really loved it. Julia looked interested. What have you been building? Carlos opened his laptop. His hands trembled slightly as he showed her a small application he had built to track warehouse inventory. Julia studied the screen. Her expression changed. This is actually very clever, she said. The turning point. Julia called in the lead engineer, David Park. David looked like a typical programmer, jeans, messy hair, but very alert eyes. Walk me through it, David said. Carlos explained the logic, the database, how he solved problems. When David asked a question Carlos didn't know, Carlos was honest. I haven't learned that yet, he said. David smiled. That's a good answer. In engineering, honesty is more valuable than pretending. David looked at Julia. Most candidates build projects because a course requires it. But Carlos built this because he saw a real-world problem, and he wanted to fix it. The result. Carlos walked out of the building feeling lighter, but he tried not to get his hopes too high. He went home and did what he always did. He started coding. 2 hours later, his phone vibrated. Hi, Carlos. It's Julia. We'd like to offer you the junior developer position. Carlos was silent. He had to be sure he heard correctly. I would love that. Julia said one last thing. Carlos, You got this job because you solved a real problem. Never forget that. Vocabulary review. Before we go, let's look at a few useful words from today's story. Opportunity, a chance to do something valuable. Mentorship, guidance from someone with more experience. Potential, the ability to grow or succeed in the future. Problem-solving mindset, a way of thinking that focuses on solutions. Follow-up, to contact someone again after a meeting. Reflection. Think about this. Have you ever worked hard on something without knowing where it might lead? Sometimes the small efforts you make today create the opportunities you never expected tomorrow. Thank you for practicing with me. Until next time, this is English Listening with Mai, where real English becomes easier to understand.